Is Arvada, Colorado one of the best places to live in 2026 in Colorado? In this video, I'm breaking down exactly why so many people are moving to Arvada right now, including the location, cost of living, lifestyle, and a few others that you definitely need to know before making the big move. Because for a lot of buyers, Arvada is becoming the perfect middle ground, but it's not for everybody. Let's get into it. Location, location, location. Let's talk about it, because this is where Arvada really stands out. When you see Arvada on the map, you are just west of I-25. It is in really close proximity to the foothills and the mountains. So anytime you're west of I-25, that middle marker of Colorado, you're just gonna add value and you're just gonna be able to get your return a little bit faster than if you sit on the east side. You're about 15 to 25 minutes to downtown Denver, and about the same, give or take, about 30, I would say, to the mountains, or taking advantage of all of the amenities that Arvada, Colorado has to offer in terms of summer and winter sports. And this is a huge drive as to why people are choosing Arvada over other suburbs, maybe like Broomfield, Wheat Ridge, Englewood, thinking about some cities on the east, on the west that a lot of buyers are considering as well. Arvada is just always that sweet spot in terms of middle ground and being able to stretch that dollar. Cost of living. Let's talk about and get into cost, because that's the big question everyone has. Are you able to afford Arvada? Arvada is not cheap by any means. And when you really compare it to nearby areas, straddling cities, other subdivision, it is a really solid value. In 2026, most home prices are landing somewhere in between the mid 500,000s up to 700,000s. This is going to really be dependent on where in Arvada you're buying, the type of home, single family versus condo versus townhome. So while it's definitely an investment, it's often far more attainable than other places like Boulder. And in many cases, you're just getting much more space, much bigger lot, and more house for your money than you would closer to downtown or if you head north into Boulder. A lot of buyers see Arvada as that kind of value pocket that you're getting, metropolitan area. And I will say that people that buy into Arvada typically stay and are forever Arvadans. Neighborhoods and housing. One thing I really love about Arvada is the variety of housing. You've got older, established neighborhoods with really big lots, mature trees, which is a big reason why I love Arvada. If I could buy my dream house, it would ideally be in Arvada or Broomfield, west of I-25, close to the foothills, still able to utilize all major highways, and it's kind of gives me a feel of like Gilmore Girls meets One Tree Hill. It's an incredible place to live, and I just love kind of everything that it encompasses as well. While you do get the typical older, mature suburban feel, you also have a lot of newer developments with more modern homes and layouts, depending on where you're looking and your price point specific. There's also a really strong sense of community in a lot of these neighborhoods, which is something people notice pretty quickly after moving here. You will see that kids are still walking to school when they live in Arvada. Neighbors are waving at themselves. You'll run into Betty Sue, Jimmy, and John at the store. It just really has that hometown roots, and you can really tell. Speaking on pros of living in Arvada, let's go over some of the biggest pros. Number one, location, close to Denver, close to the mountains. That's huge and a big driving factor. Number two, character. Arvada has historic downtown area, Old Town, so closer to 56th and Ralston. That gives a lot of more personality than your typical suburb. Number three, lifestyle. It's quieter than Denver, but still active and very connected. You still get that community vibe. For outdoor access, you are minutes away from trails, parks, and open spaces, and you are able to utilize all the amenities that Colorado has at your fingertips, being that you're in such close distance to those major highways that would lead you up to the mountains. Specifically talking about cons, because no place is perfect, and that's fine. First, prices are definitely rising here, and sellers, people that have bought here, can definitely feel their equity increasing. Arvada has become much more popular, and that's really pushed values up, which is a good talking point. So it could be a con initially in terms of direct comparables of other cities, but you're at least finding that you're able to get your return on your investment where other cities may not be as promising. Inventory can definitely be tight in certain neighborhoods, especially the more desirable ones. So just make sure that you have a good agent on your side if you're looking to buy. If you want a super urban, walkable lifestyle with a lot of nightlife, Arvada may not be for you, and it's just far too quiet. And I consider that a pro-con. So depending on where you're commuting, traffic into Denver, all of these things can definitely still factor and be considered a con. Commute and access. One of the underrated benefits of Arvada is how easy it is to get around. You've got access to all major highways, and there's a light rail that connects you to Denver, which is a huge plus. You could also utilize that to take you downtown to the Union Station. And we just made a big trip up, a good group of us, up to the mountains this winter, which was fun. So we were able to use the tramway. So a lot of public transportation, ways to kind of commute around the city. People that live here are very reliant on a car, so just know that ahead of time. Lifestyle is really where Arvada shines. You can spend your mornings drinking and grabbing coffee in Old Town Arvada, and your afternoons hiking or biking, and still head into Denver for an evening cup of joe, dinner, and kind of the nightlife scene of Denver. It has a good gradual and even mix of suburban comfort and Colorado lifestyle that really draws a lot of people in. And when I find that we're out looking and maybe a buyer hasn't dipped into the Arvada pool, but is really looking for that strong sense of community, somewhere that they could ideally see themselves planting roots and staying within that area for 30 years plus, Arvada is a huge city that I always talk and speak to when it comes to just that. So who is Arvada actually a great fit for? It's ideal for families, young professionals who want more space, possibly remote workers, and really anyone that's looking for a balance between like city access and a quieter, more home environment. It's also a great start and place for buyers who want character and not just like a cookie cutter suburb. You'll find that all of the homes are very different. You'll get your typical tri-level, bi-level, and then a ranch thrown in there, and none of them are one and the same, unless you buy into somewhat of a newer community. Most of all of Arvada was built in 1970 to 1980s, and you can see that and feel that while driving through the neighborhoods. Who is Arvada not for? On the flip side, if you want to be right in the middle of a dense, fast-paced city with a ton of nightlife, Arvada may just not be the right fit for you. And if you're really tight on your budget, it can still definitely be a stretch. So depending on the area you're buying into and that price point specifically. If you're on the west side of I-25, you're just gonna get more bang for your buck if you even take that same price range, same criteria, and just bump it on the east side of I-25. You're able to usually save about $100,000 in terms of direct comparables, house to house, same specs, all of that. Your biggest question of all, so is Arvada a good place to move in 2026? For a lot of people, the answer is yes. It checks a lot of boxes: location, lifestyle, and long-term value. It may not be the cheapest option, but it's one of the more balanced options in the Denver metro area, which is always promising a really good return in terms of equity growth. If you're looking to position yourself on the west side of I-25, close to the mountains, foothills, it's a really beautiful place to be. If you're ultimately thinking about moving to Arvada or anywhere in the Denver area, I help people all the time relocate here, purchase, buy, sell, or invest. My name is 𝐃𝐈𝐑𝐄𝐂𝐓. I am an award-winning realtor. If you have any questions, drop them down below. Reach out to me. My info is below as well. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Bye, guys.